Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Live from the Casey Center in Des Moines, we head now to our Class 3A state semifinals here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. And you're watching live coverage on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Our 3A semifinal is a rematch of last year's championship game. It's the top-seeded Mount Vernon Mustangs against the fourth-seeded Golden Eagles of Dubuque Wahlert Catholic. Well, Daniel Versteeg with you on our coverage here from Des Moines. We'll be joined by Laura Leonard here in the not-too-distant future as these two squads very familiar with each other down here at the state tournament, playing for a state title last year, and now getting set to see which of these two will represent the top half of the bracket in the 3A championship game. Let's take a look at how these teams got into the semifinal round by taking a look at the road to the championship. The Mustangs are 23-2. Well, they defeated Cherokee in the quarterfinal round, 55-44. Quinn Pershing had a strong three-point shooting performance with 21 points, 6 of 9 from the outside. Look for her to be an outstanding shooter from long range. Meanwhile, Wahlert Catholic had a 9-point victory over a pretty strong Williamsburg team in the quarterfinal round, and we got to be introduced by freshman Emily Tanney. Nearly had a double-double, but she did have 30 points and 9 rebounds in the victory for Wahlert Catholic. Both these teams very well battle-tested and looking to see who can claim the Class 3A state title. Will Mount Vernon repeat, or will Wahlert Catholic get a chance at redemption? We'll be finding that out over the next hour or so. We're glad you're with us. We'll take a break and come back, take a look at our seeds for success here in the state semifinal round. Back in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Do you volunteer or hang with friends? Play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
As title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're proud to support this fantastic event. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that strong farms and strong schools fuel strong futures. Partnering with the Girls Union allows us to celebrate Iowa's youth while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is no small feat, and it takes a strong support system. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we're able to honor students for their outstanding achievements in each of their sports and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau helps our organization provide awards, grants, and scholarships to honor excellence in athletics and academics.
Whether you're a student competing today or a fan cheering from home, we all play a role in making our state shine. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on a fantastic season and good luck.
Back inside the Casey Center in Des Moines, Daniel Versteeg with you on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy. It's the Class 3A semifinal round. It's Wahlert Catholic, the number 4 seed in Class 3A, the defending runner-up in the state, against the defending state champion and top-seeded Mount Vernon Mustangs. Of course, when these two squared off in the championship game last year, it was a 47-36 victory for the Mustangs to claim their second girls basketball state championship. They won one in 2010 as well, while Wahlert Catholic has never won the state title, and prior to this year really hadn't had a whole lot of success at the state tournament. And there you see the Mustangs getting ready, and we'll see if they have what it takes to continue their quest for a repeat as Class 3A state champs, or will Wahlert Catholic have anything to say about that? The Golden Eagles are in the state tournament for the 4th year in a row, and it has been a very impressive run at that. No class of seniors has ever led the Golden Eagles to state and girls basketball 4 years in a row, and they're looking to make some history by bringing home the school's first ever girls basketball state championship. We're going to take one more break and come back with more pregame coverage from the Casey Center in Des Moines. We're back after this on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Back to the Casey Center in Des Moines, Wahlert Catholic, Mount Vernon, semifinal round in Class 3A. It's time for our pregame introductions. Let's go down to our public address announcer, Tim Fitzpatrick, for the ceremonies.
2026 Girls State Basketball 3A semifinal matchup featuring the Wahlert Catholic Golden Eagles and the Mount Vernon Mustangs. Fans' tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by everyone here present today. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to just enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to meet our players and coaches in today's 3A semifinal matchup. Today's team intros are brought to you by Hy-Vee. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Wahlert Catholic Golden Eagles. Number 2, Peyton Knopp. Number 10, Addison Splinter. Number 14, Cameron Tyson. Number 20, Kylie Sieverding. Number 21, Madeline Maroney. 24, Evelyn Adams. 33, Ella Kennedy. And number 40, Jenna Knack. Your assistant coaches are TJ King, Gary Schuster, Matt May, and Katie Schetzel. Now let's meet your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Mustangs of Mount Vernon. Number 3, Olivia Truitt. Number 5, Lucy Wishmeyer. Number 14, Ella Wilson. Number 20, Sorel Talecki. Number 21, Sophia Meester. And number 23, Kinley Nissen. Your assistant coaches are Lindsay Knake, Aaron Blue, and Abby Taronis. And now, let's meet your starters for this 3A semifinal. For Wahlert Catholic, at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 1, Claire King. For Mount Vernon, at guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 4, Quinn Pershing. For the Golden Eagles, at guard, a 5'6" junior, number 3, Lucy Lucan. For the Mustangs, at guard, a 5'5" sophomore, number 10, Savannah Wright. Wahlert Catholic, at guard, a 6'1" freshman, number 11, Emily Tanney. For Mount Vernon, at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 11, Taylor Frank. For the Golden Eagles, at guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 23, Celia Scher. For the Mustangs, at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Courtney Frank. And for Wahlert Catholic, at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 30, Ruth Tauber. For Mount Vernon, at forward, a 5'11" junior, number 24, Riley Rasmussen. Head coach for the Golden Eagles is Chris Spiegler. For the Mustangs, Jacob Meisner. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our officials for this 3A semifinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Your referee, Andrew Kane. Umpire, Brandon Smith. Umpire, Adam Walderbach. And your bench official, Ethan Gordon. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
Well, we certainly are ready to go. It's Wahlert Catholic and Mount Vernon alongside Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg. Laura, let's take a look at what these teams need to do to be successful with our seeds for success.
Well, Mount Vernon, they need to have inside-out offense. They need to work it inside, kick it back outside to the shooters. Total team defense, help on the backside, and then for Dubuque Wahlert, they need a balanced attack. They've got to get everybody in that scoring column, have balanced scoring, and get some second chance opportunities. Go to the glass, give yourself some second chances.
Those seeds for success brought to you by Channel Seed, your local seed dealer. Visit channelseed.com today. The Golden Eagles in their blue uniforms go right away to the 3 with Claire King. And the rebound fought for, won by the Mustangs in white with Mount Vernon in a rematch of last year's Class 3A state title game. The Mustangs won it by 11. You know, the Golden Eagles will be looking for some revenge this year as Wright drives inside and kissed it off the glass for 2.
You know, we've seen a lot of point guards, smaller in stature, but they know how to get to the glass, how to angle their body and get that soft touch. off the glass to get the bucket.
Wahlert will be looking for the response here on their second possession of the contest. Of course, we saw the outstanding play of Emily Tanny in the quarterfinal round, and we know she is going to get a lot of attention from this Mustang defense, and Mount Vernon forces a carry. Tanny had 30 points in her state tournament debut on Monday against Williamsburg. She's only a freshman, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. She's certainly the player to watch for Wahlert.
Yeah, they're going to keep an eye on her, and she, throughout the season, has really performed, had 39 points in a game earlier this year, so she is capable of lighting it up early and often.
Mustangs go down the lane. A little bump, and the finish by Frank comes up short, but she gets her own board and out to the corner for a three-pointer. That is off the mark from right. And Wahlert does track down the rebound. They allowed 1 second chance, but was able to get the next defensive rebound. And here's Lucan on the wing, trying to set things up for the Golden Eagles. Spins through traffic, missed it. Good crash by Tanny, but the Mustangs control the board.
Boy, and you have to finish those. Make a great move like that, have a point-blank shot. Got to knock those down.
Here's an open three. That's around the rim. And Tanny's there for the rebound, so now she's got the basketball, and we'll let her go to work for the Golden Eagles. Wanted to pull up, but instead thinks better of it. And out to Tauber. Throws to the corner. There's a three, and it's down for number 3, Lucy Lucan.
Just a good, patient offensive set. Worked the ball around until they found the player that was open and willing to take the shot, and that's what they're going to continue to do.
That balanced attack you mentioned right out of the get-go as this rebound gets kicked out, and Frank drives in off of it. They're kicking to the corner once more, and Wright responds with a triple.
They have found her a couple of times over there in the corner, knocks this one down, but good job going after that loose ball, going and getting that 50-50 opportunity.
All 5 Mustang points so far from Savannah Wright. And now Claire King sets things up for the Golden Eagles. Going to the wing, that's a contested shot, and it misses. But the rebound there for Wahlert Catholic, and Tauber tracks it down. Well, they're going to try again from the outside. That misses for Lucan. Long-range attack for both these squads so far. So we've had only a handful of shots inside the three-point arc.
Well, and if they continue to shoot them from long range, you got to start boxing out because they will bound long off that rim.
Frank drives in for the Mustangs and kicks it to the corner. How about again? And it is for Savannah Wright. She's got all 8 for Mount Vernon.
She's just kind of setting up camp over there in that corner, and they're going to continue to find her.
Yeah, why not? She's hitting them at a good rate right now. And it's Wahlert who needs the response. Down by 5 early. And they go to Lucan on the wing. Now here's Tanny. She gets the runner off and missed it.
That was good help defense, too. After going for the steal, gambling a little bit, you get that team defense, you get that backside help.
And you have to do that against Tanny with her scoring ability. She is so lethal. Inside, Frank runs it off glass. No good. Good rebound down there by Celia Scher. The outlet stolen away. It's Savannah Wright once again. Let's see if she's got the confidence to pull up out there. She backs it out and gets it back. Right into the corner. On the right side this time. And here they set it up on the wing. Bit of a slow-moving possession now for Mount Vernon. Do get it off the right side. That three's on the way. Missed it. And another fight for the rebound. This will stay with Mount Vernon.
Boy, everybody crashing the glass, and that's what you have to do. We said everybody, so far, the majority of the shots have been from the perimeter, so you have got to go hard to the glass.
Yeah, these two squads have attempted 15 field goals. 9 of them have come from the outside so far.
I was just thinking that. I was wondering thought how many, and the majority have come from beyond the arc.
Yeah, here's the point guard for Mount Vernon. Frank works it inside and out to right. And going into the corner for Courtney Frank. She leaves it off for Taylor. Runs through the defender. They're going to get a blocking foul against Wahlert, and the Mustangs will get to reset this possession. They're going to get Lucy Lucan for the first foul for Wahlert Catholic.
Mount Vernon does a great job getting that dribble penetration. If they don't slow them down, they continue to go to the rim. Otherwise, they're kicking it out, and the shooters are ready outside.
Yeah, they've hit at a good rate so far as a team. Of course, led in large part by the lady with the basketball. It's Wright who kicks it out. There's Courtney Franken back to Wright. Got to get a hand up on her, and they lob it inside. Tough shot from Meester. That misses. Rebound for Lucan. And here comes Wahlert with a head of steam. All the way inside. It's turned away. But the rebound kicked out. And King will reset. What a cross. Down low. And missed from Tauber. Got her own rebound. Good effort from Wahlert. King from the corner. Can't hit. And it's Mount Vernon controlling the board.
I have been so impressed with the way both of these teams handle the basketball and the movement they have on offense. Everybody is constantly in motion. That allows teammates to get open.
The ball's poked free. Mount Vernon keeps it. Yeah, that was really the first time anybody's had any ball handling issues all day. Here's Wright. Still has the only points for Mount Vernon so far. Got to get something going, but the shot clock at single digits. Inside, there's some Meester missing the layup. They do get the reset of the shot clock, and Wright controls it. How about that effort? It was Taylor Frank who dove for the ball. And now inside with the layup. That misses. And we got a foul on the board. This will be on Mount Vernon. It's going to the Golden Eagles. I think they got Sophia Meester for that foul. So we have a player at the scores table to check in as well. That is Quinn Pershing, who's into the ball game, an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT by visiting imtins.com. Pershing, of course, the top scorer for Mount Vernon in their quarterfinal win on Monday against Cherokee. She had 21 points, and she lit it up from the outside. Now Tanny launches a deep ball. That doesn't go, and Mount Vernon's there to shut that possession down.
You know, they just keep bringing them in off the bench, all the shooters. So if one goes down to take a rest, the other one comes in and is able to knock down shots. But Wright is just having herself a first quarter.
All 10 points for Mount Vernon. She's already got her jersey number scoring here in the first quarter. And a timeout from longtime head coach Chris Spiegler and Wahlert Catholic. We'll take a look at that shot once again from Savannah Wright. Look at the moves as she works her way to the basket.
Just the ball handling, eyes up the entire time, never looking down, knows exactly where that dribble is going. And just the crossover and leaning one way, going back the other, gets that defense out of position.
Well, right now, I think this question is great to pose to both sides. Savannah Wright's 10 points have been wonderful, but you're going to need somebody else to score as well, and Wallert's obviously struggled offensively. You know, what kind of things could they each side be looking for to try and create some scoring chances?
Well, I think as far as Wahlert goes, I think a little bit more motion offensively, looking for maybe some backdoor cuts because the defense is playing pretty tight, and maybe some ball fakes, pump fakes to get yourself open. You got to get somewhere. You got to get the lid off the basket. Then that gives you confidence. And then for Mount Vernon, just continue doing what you're doing. Yes, eventually the others are going to come to the scoring column, but right now you ride the hot hand of Wright.
Yes, Savannah Wright right now, she is 4 of 5 from the field, and the rest of her teammates are 0 for 8 combined, so they need to get going. Meanwhile, Wahlert Catholic, 1 of 10 as a team so far from the field. See if that changes here out of this Golden Eagle timeout from longtime head coach Chris Spiegler. As they pass it around up top, that's Lucan, who's hit the only shot for the Golden Eagles so far. Inside to Scher. Shot clock getting low. Double teamed, fouled, and we'll get 2 free throws for Celia Scher. And we'll get that foul against Courtney Frank. And, well, it's been a pretty clean quarter so far. That's just a 3rd foul combined in this first period.
And they switched up top. And Frank got the assignment that time on Scher and picked up that foul.
Scher knocks down the first. We get some more substitutions into the ball game for Mount Vernon. As the Mustangs show off their depth a little bit as the number 1 seed in this bracket. Trying to secure a spot in the championship once again after winning the state title last year, their 2nd state title in program history. That shot misses on the 2nd attempt. And now here comes Mount Vernon up the floor. Going to give it to Wright. She can't miss right now. See what she gets to go. Takes the handoff, and now she's stuck. Back around up top, it goes to Courtney Frank, and hand to Wright. They're setting a screen for her. They lob it inside. Outside on the kick out. Back down low, and the foul from behind will go against Lucan, her second.
A little bit more of a patient set that time, trying to work the offense, work a little clock. And now they can hold for the last one if they would like to.
Yeah, it seems like Mount Vernon, once they built that lead, they realized we can kind of do what we need to. Here's Wright from the outside. How about another? Her third three of the quarter. All 13 Mustang points from Savannah Wright.
What? I mean, she's on fire. She came in, just floated to that spot. They got her the ball back, and she knocked it down.
Here's the three. It's good for Tanny. She needed that one.
She needed that, and so did Wahlert Catholic. They needed that to give them a little bit of a boost.
Wright gives it off. The runner misses from Pershing. What a first quarter. Mount Vernon with a 6-point lead, thanks in large part to Savannah Wright. All 13 for the Mustangs come from number 10. They'll take a 6-point lead into the second quarter. We're back with more state tournament basketball in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
From homeowners to small businesses, Iowa banks know what it means to invest in the future. Their customer relationships are built on shared values and earn trust. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all. And we are sticking through it all with you here this afternoon, alongside Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg with you. Man, it's been the Savannah Wright Show. 13 points for the Mount Vernon sophomore. She had 14 on Monday against Cherokee, and she might get that here at the early part of the second quarter. I got to see if somebody else can hit a shot for the Mustangs as well. That's going to be interesting to see as that develops here in the second quarter. Emily Tanny's got the ball out up front off her 30-point performance Monday. Open three by King. Off the mark there, and the rebound for Rasmussen.
Yeah, you're right. I think both of these teams need to get others involved, and good pressure in the backcourt to cause that turnover, but need to start to spread it out now and get some balance in the scoring column.
And we saw Wright was willing to do that on that last second shot at the end of the first quarter. She gave the ball up as she was transitioning up the floor, knowing we need to get some other scorers involved. Here's Claire King working around into the corner for Cher. And she's inside now. Into a double team. They tie her up. The possession to the Mustangs.
Boy, that help side defense, and when anybody is making that reverse pivot and they have that ball down around their hip, you got to be strong with it. You got to clear it, otherwise somebody's going to tie you up.
Mount Vernon facing some pressure now. It's Emily Tanny with her long 6'1" frame. Can just be a real nuisance out of the top of that. They go into the corner, and Frank surveys her options. Dumps it into Rasmussen. Throws it to the corner. There's Wright. Going to work once again. Inside drive. Taylor Frank up and under for two.
There you get somebody else involved. Nice little up and under move, getting inside. Give that pump fake. Get the defense in the air.
Yeah, she got that defender to bite, and it's over by that point. Lucan inside and stops at that free throw line. It's tough for Wahlert to get what they want offensively, or to convert on it, I guess, as Tanny runs through the defender and loses it.
Pershing did a nice job staying right with her as she was trying to make that step through.
Comes Frank, the handoff to Taylor Frank, and she gets inside. She's building confidence with back-to-back buckets. And we'll get a timeout from Wahlert once again as the Golden Eagles got to talk it over. Yeah, this is the thing probably Coach Spiegler was worried about. If you let one player dictate a team's offensive ability, that's all right. But as soon as her teammates start getting going, like Taylor Frank is right now, that's building some trouble.
Nice little handoff, and then just defense not sliding over enough, and still with the momentum. Frank doing a good job keeping that dribble alive. And so, first quarter was Savannah Wright's quarter. Maybe this quarter is going to be Taylor Frank's quarter.
Yeah, and she averages 12 points a game, and that's the thing about this Mount Vernon team. There's really not a bad option offensively. Quinn Pershing, Savannah Wright, Taylor Frank. Could even get Courtney Frank going, Riley Rasmussen, a few players off the bench. They have so many different weapons they can go to at any given time. And we'll see if Wahlert Catholic has a response to that. Down 10, and they have not scored yet in this second quarter. That's been a real struggle right now as they continue to have their field goal percentage down in the dust, 17% as a team. Dangerous pass. Wright goes diving after it. It's picked up by Tanny. Trying to create off the dribble. Over to King in the corner. That misses. Courtney Frank will bring it up for the Mustangs. Savannah Wright down to the corner once again. That three doesn't go. I think we're seeing some settle shots here as Wahlert tries to get their best look here. Tanny has to throw it out. Lucan, open tray. Still won't go. The rebound inside, and Tauber finishes with the left hand.
They've been doing a great job crashing that offensive glass. Finally pays off as Tauber able to make the nice move.
Here's a nice drive all the way in. That won't go. The rebound tapped out. Frank to the cup with the floater. Still not enough. Some numbers for the Golden Eagles as Tanny loses possession. And now it's stolen back away. Now Mount Vernon doesn't have numbers.
What a pick, though, by Frank. I mean, she picked it and then stayed in bounds, kept the ball in bounds.
Off the rim there from from Wright, excuse me. And now here comes Claire King. Tanny drives in, tries to kick it back to King. One of these times the lid's going to get off the bucket, but not that time for Wahlert. Now the Mustangs get the board.
Again, long rebound, everybody boxing out. That one hit the floor, and everybody kind of stood around, and you could hear the crowd going, "Go get the ball."
You boxed out so nicely. Still got to get the rebound. And they're going into the corner for Wright. She hasn't taken a shot yet in the second quarter. We'll see if that changes. She gives to Taylor Frank. There's the shot from up top. Missed the mark. Rebound for Mount Vernon.
Rasmussen pulled that rebound, but the last time down the floor, twice she tipped the ball out to a teammate. So she's done a great job. Even though she hadn't pulled the board, she's kept the ball alive.
And it leads to a second chance for Quinn Pershing. Her three, her first bucket of the afternoon.
Pershing, as you had mentioned, 21 points in that first game, so remaining hot. They need to find her a little bit more, see if they can find her some open looks.
You've got Pershing and Savannah Wright. They've been dueling it out for the three-point record at Mount Vernon here this season, as the long jumper by King off the rim twice. Wright certainly added to her total already. She's hit 3 threes, and now Pershing adds a triple. One of them will have the record when the season's all over. Just have to wait and see. As Taylor Frank dribbles the ball up top and gets a good crossover around Tanny and has the touch.
That floater is so tough to defend against, and she knows exactly when to pull up and get that shot off.
It's a great-looking bucket, and now Wahlert takes it up with Tanny. A good screen set for her. Good cross-court pass. The three still won't go for Cher. It's been a rough shooting start for Wahlert. And the Mustangs trying to capitalize on it. The turnaround hook for Pershing.
Yeah, they're just kind of hitting on all cylinders now. They're getting everybody involved and running their offense with precision.
Yeah, This is the offense for Mount Vernon we expected to see early in this game. Nice step through the scoop for two with a foul from Scher.
Really great athletic move. She got stopped initially with that good step through. Dribble drive, gets that screen up top. Slowed down here, and then you just go step through, go the opposite way.
Great finish for Celia Scher, the sophomore. Had 8 points, 8 boards against Williamsburg in the quarters on Monday. Her free throw misses. Oh, but she tracks down the rebound. And they kick to King. Now, chance for even more for Wahlert. The drive there from Knopp, who's into the ball game for the first time this afternoon. Tanny kicks it. The three by Scher. That goes!
Pretty good sequence by Scher that last couple of possessions. Giving them the spark they needed.
That was 5 straight for Celia Scher, and a nice response from Sophia Meester. The Mustangs go up by a dozen, and whoa, we got an officials timeout. But do we have a Mount Vernon timeout, or do we have an officials timeout here? Wahlert had the ball. I think they are going to give it to Mount Vernon. Interesting. Maybe it was a delayed whistle of some kind, because Wahlert was bringing the ball up the floor and was nearly into the front court, but we'll see. Anyway, it's Mount Vernon up by 12 here late in the second quarter. You got to think, as we take a look at this sequence by Celia Scher, that something like this can give the Golden Eagles some confidence.
Yeah, the dribble drive, it draws everybody in. Defense is pulled in. Good recognition to kick it back out and get the three-point shooter the basketball.
Yeah, she made the basket with a foul, missed the free throw, got the rebound, reversed it around, got the ball back, and hit the three. A 5-point sequence for Celia Scher as she really steps up in a big way for Wahlert Catholic. And now it's Golden Eagle basketball out of the Mount Vernon timeout. And Emily Tanny takes it up. Golden Eagles need some scoring here before the quarter ends. They'll find Scher once more. Still can't quite hit consistently. And Taylor Frank brings it up for the Mustangs. Here she comes. All the way to the cup with a step back for two.
Well, and Sophia Meester was kind of clearing the path for her, too. Just ushered her into that layup.
When you have a Meester girl down on the block, it usually signifies success for Mount Vernon. Of course, Chloe Meester, her older sister, part of that state championship team last year. Down inside. Good pass into Celia Scher, who scores again.
She has just found the openings, made herself available to receive passes, and is converting.
It'll be Frank for Mount Vernon. Gets it to Kinley Nissen, who's checked in. Hands to Taylor Frank. Inside of a minute to go in this first half. They drive inside, look to kick it. Offensive foul against Mount Vernon. And the Mustangs turn it over back to Wahlert, who will have a chance to trim the deficit once more.
And they can hold this ball, as you see there's contact down below, and they can hold the ball for the last shot, maybe get a big bucket, have a little momentum heading in to the locker room.
Scher's got 7 straight for the Golden Eagles. She looks to score again, loses the ball down low, and Mount Vernon's got the takeaway. Mustangs out up ahead for Truitt. Inside to Frank. Might have gotten away with a double dribble, but finishes.
She did it so quickly. I think she did double dribble. It was quick, but the officials didn't catch it.
Tanny inside. Low time here in the half. Skips to King and misses at the buzzer. And we take this one into the halftime break. Mount Vernon got the early momentum thanks to Savannah Wright, and her teammates help pick up the slack later. Taylor Frank scores 10 points in that second quarter. And the Mustangs take a 14-point lead into the break. We'll step aside, come back with some halftime analysis, and get you ready for the second half of play as well. Stay tuned. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Grill
multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left for you to do
but to go to Fairway, your dream for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you better stake up. Fairway and meat go hand in hand.
This dream is meant for you and me.
Poultry, pork, and beef, your home for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed.
Fairway, it's the one you need.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Excuse me, ma'am. You dropped this.
Health powers life, from the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted. Sometimes life takes an unexpected turn, like receiving a cancer diagnosis. At Mercy One, you have access to a team of cancer experts with advanced technologies and holistic therapies for the cancer care you need close to home. Our team will guide you every step of the way, ensuring you're ready no matter what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
It takes a village to care for a patient. From all of the various people, if you come see us, that you'll meet. Every one of those people, we try to get people that are committed to making that the best experience that they can do.
I think the breadth of coverage that we're able to provide, I think is unique. All of these different facets that all intertwine are what allow us to take care of the community the way that I feel they should.
At DMOS, we're here when you need us.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
We're enjoying some of the halftime festivities here in Des Moines. The Davenport Central dance team currently entertaining us, and well, the action on the court is entertaining as well. Mount Vernon leads Wahlert Catholic by 14. So we welcome you back to our courtside seats here in Des Moines alongside Laura Leonard. I'm Daniel Versteg. And well, Mount Vernon, we saw Savannah Wright take over in the first quarter, then Taylor Frank get going in the second quarter. We'll be interested to see if they can develop some consistency with their entire team in the second half.
Yeah, I think they need to, they've been lucky that they've been able to build the lead, and basically with two players doing the scoring. They need to get a little more balance going in there. And then for Dubuque Wahlert, they need to get a lot of people involved, and they've got to figure out a way to get the ball inside, work it inside, and then out. They've got to find some three-point shots, and they need to move the ball a little bit more. They've been a little stagnant, and they need to get some more movement, backdoor cut, see if they can get some points on the board.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. They've been shooting under 30% from the field. Let's kind of break down how that first half went by taking a look at our statistics. They're brought to you by Sioux Cup Seed. And, well, to your point, Laura, 26% from the field for Wahlert Catholic. They just haven't gotten the shots they've wanted so far.
They really haven't, and I think part of that is the Mount Vernon defense is really forcing them out of their comfort zone on offense, so they are settling for shots, and you talked a little bit about that as well, that maybe both teams early on in that second quarter were settling for shots, and I think that's kind of what happened to Wahlert. And on the rebounding side of things, Mount Vernon's doing a great job of going to the glass, going to the offensive glass as well, and so, it's a situation where I think if you're Wahlert, just got to settle down. You got to get back in, run your offense with confidence. Mount Vernon just needs to continue to do what they're doing, add maybe another score.
We were marveling at how fast the first half went, both from a foul standpoint, but I think the turnover numbers kind of show that as well. There were hardly any giveaways in that first half.
Yeah, it was a clean played game. It was a cleanly played first half. And not a lot of turnovers. It was just back and forth basketball, and both teams playing defense, playing offense. Not a lot of fouls, just playing basketball the way you're supposed to play it. Yeah. And that's what leads to a very quick first half.
And Mount Vernon is up 14 when all is said and done at the halftime break. The Mustangs are the defending champs. Wahlert is trying to get back to the title game for the second year in a row in a rematch of last year's championship. We'll see how things go in the second half of play. We'll have that for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau with live coverage on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. Unwelcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
As we take a quick break from tournament coverage, all of us at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union want to extend our sincere appreciation to our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their continued support of this championship event. I'm joined once again by Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, who's here to share more about the special souvenirs our participating student athletes will be taking home this week.
That's right, Aaron. Our incredible student athletes won't be leaving empty-handed. Every athlete competing today will take home a custom souvenir bag tag to commemorate their hard work and dedication. And for our championship teams, we're thrilled to present pink championship ball caps, a bold symbol of everything that they've earned. Athletes will also receive a signature ball, perfect for collecting autographs from coaches and teammates and creating a keepsake that they'll treasure for years. Each of these items is more than just swag. They're reminders of what's possible when you work hard and follow your dreams.
Brent, thank you to the Iowa Farm Bureau for helping make this championship experience so special for our athletes. Now let's get back to the action.
Back inside the Casey Center here in Des Moines with Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteeg with you. The defending state champion Mount Vernon Mustangs trying to do something that no 3A girls basketball team has done since 2017. The Pocahontas area Indians went back-to-back as state champs. Nobody's done that since. Mount Vernon has a chance to do that. And, of course, Pocahontas was led by a lady sitting to our left in Ellie Ruffridge.
Just going to bring it up.
Our great colleague. Yep, she's got the next 3A game.
Yes, she does.
And that's going to be a good one. Maquoketa and Des Moines Christian, they had some outstanding quarterfinal performances. This 3A class, really solid at the top half. And Wahlert is a 4 seed. They've proven themselves to be a very formidable opponent here today.
Yeah, I think this has been a very competitive class and a fun one to watch. Got a lot of good scorers in this class, and it just, it's just fun to watch the talent that has come through here at all levels and how competitive each and every game has been.
Yeah, there have been some good ones, and we just, of course, came off that overtime game in 5A as Dowling Catholic will not make the championship for the first time in a few years, as Waukee Northwest will replace them in trying to dethrone the juggernaut that is the Johnston girls basketball program. See how that takes place coming up tomorrow night. Of course, the 3A championship will be at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And of course, that'll be on Iowa Public Television. And you can get some more Laura Leonard at that point. So
I'm telling you, maybe people don't want. Maybe they'll just turn the sound
down.
There's
not enough Laura Leonard. That's what I always say. It's going to be a fun second half. We're glad you're with us. Mount Vernon up by 14 and hopes to repeat as state champs. And we talked about it, how you had Savannah Wright get going in the first quarter, Taylor Frank get going in the second quarter. If they can balance that scoring, spread it out a little bit more evenly, they're going to be really hard to beat.
They are going to be hard to beat. And it seems like with this team, it's not the same person night in and night out. They have different weapons that do it on different nights.
So Wahlert will have the basketball. They'll have a chance to potentially set the tone here in the second half of play as Claire King works it to that high post, gets a good open look and sinks it.
Ran what they wanted to run right out of the timeout or right out of halftime. Got a little high screen, let her dribble around it and get set.
Boy, and how big must that be for Claire? She was 0 for 6 from the field in the first half and knocks down her first here to open the second half.
And as a shooter, you go new half.
Yes.
All right, now I'm 1 for 1.
It's a brand new ball game at that point. Here's Mount Vernon. They're kicking it out to Wright. She's all alone and missed a 3. Lucan tracks down the board. And Wahlert will bring it back. Cher's on a mission. Here she comes. Kicks it to King. And back up top, Lucan the triple. That missed the mark. Rebound for Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon has done such a great job boxing out.
Quickly up ahead, they go to Frank. A travel. Turnover by Pershing, and now Mount Vernon off to a bit of a slow start here in the first minute or so.
And this is where you need to capitalize if you're Wahlert Catholic.
That's Jacob Meisner, the head coach of Mount Vernon girls basketball. He was an assistant here for a long time under the previous head coach, Nate Sanderson, who won that last title for the Mount Vernon girls basketball program. And in his first year as the head coach of the Mustangs, first year as a head coach of any basketball program. King kicks it out, working inside. Tauber stops, turns, fires. Got her on rebound, back up, and scores.
Sometimes when you don't get in the fray and you just hang around, it comes right back to you and you can get the putback.
Emily Tanny's causing some issues in the backcourt as she forces a ball out of bounds. We'll get another look at that great effort by Tauber.
Tauber just hanging around, lets the carom come right to her, takes it right to the glass.
Mount Vernon's lead down to 10. Trying to add to it. Taylor Frank can't convert. And the Golden Eagles, they're playing with some swagger. Here's King for 3. No, it rims out.
Boy, that one was halfway down, and I was looking to the Mount Vernon bench to see if they were going to call a timeout when that one went through the hoop, but it rattled out.
Now the Mustangs with the big answer the other side from Pershing.
Boy, what a big swing that was. It was a three that was halfway down, rattles out, and Mount Vernon comes down and hits the three.
Back to a 13-point lead as King gets the good crossover to the cup. Got it back again. That scores high off glass.
Everybody's asking it. They thought it hit the shot clock, but I think it just touched the top of the backboard.
Yep, that part is allowed. You can hit the top of the backboard. If it goes over, that's the issue. And obviously if it hits something above it, you got a problem there. And we've got an illegal screen. It's on Riley Rasmussen. And now Wahlert is down Claire King, who took some contact through that illegal screen. Is a bit slow to get up. So the Golden Eagles, after they got Claire King, a couple of baskets, and now Mount Vernon getting to work. We're going to step aside here. Early part of the third quarter, the Mustangs up by 11, but it'll be Golden Eagle basketball when we return on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, Claire King was able to get herself up on her feet and limp off the floor. The senior point guard for Wahlert Catholic, and she's trying to shake out that left leg that she was a little ginger on. Coach Spiegler talks about her having a very high basketball IQ and usually gets assigned one of the top offensive players on the defensive side, and she usually does a phenomenal job guarding that top player. So the Golden Eagles will be without one of their ball handlers, but Tanny is there to help out the cause.
That was a deep three, and she moved over into that point guard position up on top and just drains a long-range jumper.
Boy, that's such a good asset to have, someone who could step up and lead your offense out there in Tanny with King going to the bench. Pass down low. That's off the fingers of Rasmussen, but it was deflected first by Wahlert.
We had a nice look at that. That was a great look, and that pass had to go through a lot of hands to try to connect to the target in Rasmussen. But what great court awareness and seeing the entire floor of where your teammates are.
So Mount Vernon is going to set up here. Their lead has been trimmed by 6 points already in this third quarter. And it's Savannah Wright. Takes the hit and counts the hoop.
Just never given up on the play and got pushed around a little bit on that dribble drive. Gets a screen up top, little hesitation, and then gets by, bump there, and then another bump as she goes up.
What a physical play by Wright, and she converts the three-point play. Mustangs go up by 11 with that. And now Wahlert will look for the response again on the other side. Lucan has a look up top, but thinks better of it, wants a better shot. Here's Tanny off a good screen. Now double teamed out there. You could tell the respect she's garnered. Inside to Cher. She's rejected twice. Put back, and a foul will put Peyton Knopp on the line for two.
Saw the double team coming and was able to slide it inside. Right here's the double team. Good pass inside. Then the quick hands and another block. But Wahlert hanging around. They're doing a good job of scooping up some of the garbage that's coming off the rim and getting to the free throw line.
Mount Vernon makes an IMT insurance substitution as well. That's Lucy Wishmeyer into the contest. Well, Peyton Knopp, who missed the first free throw, misses the second. 2 of 6 on the season at the line, and now putting it back up is Tanny on the offensive rebound. She's fouled and will shoot 2 more. So the freshman Emily Tanny goes back to the line. And we'll see her chance at converting a couple of big free throws for Wahlert. And now we got a great sight here as Claire King is back into the ball game for the Golden Eagles. there she is, back on the floor after tweaking her left leg a little bit. It looked like on that illegal screen. They got it worked on, and she's back on the floor.
She's going to have to test it out a little bit to get some confidence. Looks like she's still favoring it a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. She's playing through pain. And, of course, that, again, shows the toughness that the Iowa girl has. Claire King fighting through the pain. We got a quick timeout here from Mount Vernon with Wahlert within 9 points. All right, so the Mustangs have seen their lead go from 14 down to 8. You know, this is another big possession for the Mustangs just to try and keep the Golden Eagles at bay.
Yeah, because if you don't connect here, you don't score any kind of points. Now you're back on the other end playing defense. That's just another little brick in the momentum that continues to build that gets you over the hump. And I think Wallert's just been very methodical about how they've gone about it here in the third quarter to kind of climb back into this one.
So Wahlert now back to somewhat full strength anyway. King is still a little ginger on that foot, but she's going to try and play through it. Mount Vernon back with their top unit, one of their top units out there. Courtney Frank will set things up for the Mustangs. And over to Wishmeyer. She loses the handle. It's stolen by Tanny. Big turnover up ahead to Lukin. Has to back it out.
Smart move. Wasn't anything there. Get reset.
Tauber finds King. She goes up and she's fouled. Man, what a tough basketball player. Claire King will go to the line.
Those are the things you come out with an injury. That's how you want to test that ankle right there. You want to get some contact, know that it's okay, and she gets to step to the free throw line.
And no issue there as she knocks down the first. 78% free throw shooter, Claire King, back on the line for another one. She's a multi-sport talent. And, of course, when we talk about that, sometimes we talk about volleyball and softball, the main sports. She runs cross country and plays tennis in her non-basketball seasons. And quite a good athlete in both sports as well. As she knocks down a pair, it's a 7-point game. You know the Golden Eagles aren't going away easily. And Mount Vernon trying to pull them back right. Fakes from the outside.
You know, they've got Tanny up top, and they're switching and staying in a little bit of a matchup zone. So every time they come up top, they've got that length that is limiting them in what they can do.
And making their shots difficult. Wahlert gets the rebound back the other way. Tanny inside, turns, fires, missed, and the Mustangs get the board. What a rebound by Wright.
One of the smallest players on the floor, and those were the only arms I saw going up after the ball.
5-5, you can still rebound effectively. Tanny got the steal. 2-on-2, takes on both, and scores with the contact.
And those are the little mistakes that you don't want to have happen. You get the steal here, and you get Tanny out on the break. Yeah, contest it a little bit, but don't foul.
And if you do foul, make it count.
Foul hard. Don't let her get the bucket in the and one. It's one of two things. You either don't foul, give her the two, or you hammer and you make her go to the line.
Coach Spiegler talked about Emily Tanny as being someone that attacks the basket with no regard for her body, and we saw that there. She gets a 3-point play out of it, and it's a 4-point deficit for the Golden Eagles. Mount Vernon could use a response here. Taylor Frank fouled on her way down the alley. That one will go against Celia Scher, so she picks up her second. And now Mount Vernon will reset this possession. Going to the corner, tight along the sideline there for Pershing. Thrown up top, Tanny. What a hound on defense. Back to Pershing, runs it up, got it back. Didn't hit the rim, so no reset. Courtney Frank leaves it for Wright. She'll set it up with a shot clock winding down. Inside of 10, and we got a foul. That is a costly one for Wahlert. That'll reset the shot clock from 9 to 35. And it's a big foul as well. That's Lucy Lukin's third.
trying to fight her way through that screen up top and just got a little too aggressive, too much contact.
Well, the ball's been on this side of the floor for a while. And Wahlert's been playing a lot of defense, down 4. See if they can still get a stop off of this. Frank out to right. Deep 3 on the way. Missed it. But the rebound for the Mustangs once more.
Yeah, kick it back out and make them play another 35 seconds of defense.
Man, Wahlert is really working to earn a stop here, but they haven't gotten it yet. Down to right. She had it halfway down and missed. How about the Golden Eagles? A minute and a half on defense. They turn the other way. King with the runner. And just like that, it's a one-score game.
Getting the stops and then converting on their offensive end.
Here comes Wright, trying to pull the Golden Eagles back. Taylor Frank to the cup, missed it. Tanny's got the rebound. The Golden Eagles started this quarter down 14. They've got a chance to take the lead. The shovel pass over to Cher. They got time to work to Tanny as she sets it up. Shot clock's winding down. Right, tightly guarding Tauber. Over to Tanny. Inside, and we are tied.
Boy, the floater through the lane. I thought it was going to be short. She knew exactly what she was doing. Fought her way through all the defense and puts it up.
Mount Vernon now will be shooting for the lead here on the last possession of the third. After leading this opening quarter of the second half by 14 points. Inside, Frank puts it up and in. Wahlert may get a crack at it from long range, but it has no chance. And Mount Vernon will have the lead going into the fourth, but the momentum solely in Wahlert's favor from 14 points down to tie the game late in the third. Stick around. The fourth quarter will be coming up as we get a look at this last basket on the possession by Wahlert Catholic. It was Tanny running it up and in to tie the game. Stay tuned. Fourth quarter on the way next on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Well, anything can happen at the girls' state basketball tournament. The Wahlert Catholic Golden Eagles opened the second half down 14 points. And now it's a 2-point game. Wahlert did tie the game right before that last basket from the Mustangs. And now Mount Vernon will have a chance to extend that lead as we start the fourth. With Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg with you. The drive by Wright. She scores, but was fouled before all of that by Emily Tanny.
They had a set play that they wanted to run coming out of the timeout and got what they wanted, just drew the contact.
The contact came a little early, oddly enough. Mount Vernon could have taken it later for the shot. Here's the three by Wright. Doesn't go. Man, she opened this game on fire and really hasn't been able to do much since.
Yeah, she's struggled here in the second half, and it's coming up short. Things are coming up short on that three-point shot.
I wonder if the fatigue's starting to set in here, and it's such a crucial game. Winner plays for a state title tomorrow. Oh, a dangerous pass. It was taken away by Rasmussen.
Yeah, Cher was looking for that backdoor cut, just thinking it was going to be there. And sometimes you got to be patient and let it develop.
Oh, dangerous pass. Tanny nearly got it. Now right from the free throw line connects.
Got that runner after the attempt at the steal. And you sometimes gamble on defense. You win, sometimes you don't.
4-point lead for Mount Vernon now. Wahlert sets things up early in this fourth quarter. They're trying to get the ball to Tanny, but boy, Courtney Frank not letting it. Setting a screen. Here's Tauber.
Now they've got a little mismatch there up top that they could have gone back to Tanny.
Yeah, that would have been the time for the kick out pass. Here comes Taylor Frank down inside and has to back it out. So Mount Vernon will control the pace a little bit. And there's King fighting through a screen and has whistled for a foul.
I wanted to try to fight through that handoff, see if she could get a quick steal. You got to like the aggressiveness, trying to make that big play.
She's got her first foul of the contest. And now it will be Mount Vernon basketball. With the Mustangs up by 4, and they've scored the last 4 in this contest. Here's Courtney Frank going into the corner for Taylor Frank. The shot fake. Tanny flies by. They kick to the corner. Right. Hits the bullseye.
She's found a different spot on the floor, and hitting that runner, I'm sure, took a little pressure off of her, and she relaxed when she shot that three-pointer.
Back-to-back buckets, 5 straight. Now here's Tanny. Deep 3, and it rattles in. Boy, what a shot from Emily Tanny. And Wahlert head coach Chris Spiegler needs a timeout. We'll take one as well with the Mustangs up by 4. You're watching the Class 3A state semifinal on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back inside the Casey Center in Des Moines with Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg. Big swings here in this fourth quarter to start. So we take a look at what's been happening as of late. Here on the Mount Vernon side of things, Savannah Wright starting to get her mojo back with a three-pointer. And she's scored 5 straight for the Mustangs. And then back on the other side, it was Wahlert Catholic's Emily Tanny getting things rolling for the Golden Eagles. We'll see her shot for the outside. Such a quick release out there.
It is so quick. You just sometimes don't think that she's going to pull up and shoot. And that was deep, too.
Yes.
And so you think, okay, she's picking the ball up. She's going to look to pass. But when she does that and makes that motion, she is preparing herself to shoot.
Boy, it's turned into a great ball game here as the Mustangs bring it up the floor, leading by 4. The Golden Eagles could use a stop badly. It's Courtney Frank going to Taylor Frank. Inside look to the basket for 2.
Spread the floor that time. Send a few cutters through to get the defense out of position, and then Frank with the dribble drive.
Tanny looking to create. How'd she get it down to King? The kick out. Tauber knocks it down.
Inside out basketball. They dumped it down low. Nothing happening. Kicking it out to the three-point shooters.
As that shooter on the outside, that's right in the pocket to let it fly. And now here's Wright spinning away from King and missed that shot. Tanny with the rebound. Wahlert with another chance to tie. Let's see what Tanny's got in her bag this time. The step through, turned away. Great defense down low from Courtney Frank.
Wasn't just one player she was going up against, it was 2. There were 4 hands there blocking that shot, and now the steal the other way.
Oh, Tauber picks her pocket. Outlets to King, a little 2-on-1. King turned away, got it back underneath. Tries to kick it out, it's stolen by Mount Vernon.
And Wright does the right thing, slow it down. It's getting a little out of hand. It's getting a little back and forth. Let's just take some time off the clock and settle in.
Yeah, a little chaos here over the last minute or so. Trying to control it. Courtney Frank goes inside, back out. Shot clock down to 10. Now the Mustangs go to work. Right. Oh, what a shot fake, but missed the turnaround. That was a good look by Wright. Here comes Tauber. Oh, she lets it fly. Can't hit. King the board. She dribbles out. She lets it go and missed it, but Tauber's there. They each helped each other. Looking to create up top.
Again, a good, smart play. Get set, get things you need. This is an important possession. Get a good look at it.
Here's Cher. You got time. Lukin still can't hit. 3 good looks from the outside. Don't fall. We're starting to get down there. 3 minutes left in a rematch of last year's state championship game here in the semis. Who will earn the right to get back there tomorrow night? Taylor Frank drives in. Ball fakes and is fouled. It's going to be another one on Wahlert, their third as a team this quarter. They'll get Tanny, her second. So the Mustangs will inbound up 3 and trying to extend the lead. Here's Wright letting it go right away. Can't convert. Good board. Fighting through it by Lukin.
Boy, that was just pure determination to pull that one and rip it away.
Oh, Cher. How about it? We're tied.
I think Mount Vernon's a little slow getting back, and they recognize that and found a shooter open in the corner.
Boy, that is a gutsy shot from the sophomore, Celia Cher. And the Mustangs respond. Courtney Frank, yes! And the Mustangs retake the lead.
Boy, another gutsy shot. We haven't seen Frank take a ton of shots today. She's been doing a lot of other things, playing defense and going to the boards, but steps up and knocks down a big bucket when they needed it.
Tanny runs it up, missed it. Rebound, foul by Mount Vernon. So that's the first one for Mount Vernon. We're going to take a look at, boy, what a sequence. Wahlert up the floor. How about the quick recognition to take this one by Cher?
Knew that the defense was slow getting out there, knew that she had time, caught it in rhythm, and her idea, she knew she was ready to shoot.
Tauber fakes the handoff. Wahlert down 3. They're going to look to tie it again, and Tauber can't convert. Good read by the Mustangs. They let it go out, and Mount Vernon, chance to extend the lead again.
You're going to get a full court pressure here.
Wahlert will look for a takeaway. It's kind of a light pressure. They might trap out of it. No, they're going to set it up in the half court.
And they've got Courtney Frank up top running it now, hands off to her sister.
The Golden Eagles have a foul to give here late. Ooh, tough there by Taylor Frank, out to right. Crosses it over, now gotta let it go, and knocks it in. Savannah Wright has been huge all day. She's got 24.
When they took some time off the clock and waited for something to happen, used as much of that 35-second shot clock as they could.
King around the horn, the pin down up top. Cher can't convert. The rebound pulled down by Mount Vernon with a foul. That's going to be a costly one for Wahlert. And we'll take a look at that three-pointer once again from Mount Vernon as Savannah Wright does a tremendous job of just getting her shot here.
Crossover dribble and then got a little back screen to help pop her loose, and that's what gave her the separation. And she is just clutch. When they need shots, she's knocking them down.
She had 13 points in the first quarter, all 13, then had 3 points in the second to third quarter, and now has scored another 8 points here in the fourth quarter. She's just coming up clutch right now.
She is, and it looked like to me initially as we're going through this fourth. She was getting a little tired, and we saw her miss some shots short, but she has certainly found the energy to be able to knock down some big buckets here down the stretch.
So inside of a minute to go, Wahlert now does not have a foul to give. They have 4. So any foul will put the Mustangs on the line. See if they look to do it quickly. Oh, a deflected ball. Tanny's got it. And she's going to the line to shoot too. How about the defense from King?
Just the quick hands, getting into the passing lane, stripping the basketball, and then Tanny right there, picking it up, taking it strong to the hoop, get her to the free throw line. So that full court pressure got him another possession, another opportunity.
I was just about to wonder if Wahlert needs to start fouling, and then they get a takeaway, and that helps the cause as Tanny knocks down the first. We're going to see that takeaway once again, and boy, how about this quick reaction by King?
Just the quick hands right there, tips it over to Tanny, and there's the result. She gets to the line.
And converts both. 4-point game. Wahlert needs another takeaway. And once they cross midcourt, that's probably when you need to think about a foul. So you're down 4. Try to get the ball back. Tanny hits the deck hard. And now there's a foul. They're going to get King for 1, and that's going to give Mount Vernon a couple of opportunities to extend the lead. They're going to put Taylor Frank on the line. Not a bad option for Wahlert. She's only a 59% free throw shooter this year. Really good defensively. See if she can convert. The first one misses.
They did, though, let a lot of time run off the clock.
Yeah, only 35 seconds left, so they're going to still need to be in quick mode here. Frank's second. This is a big one. It's good. Back to a 5-point game for Mount Vernon as they do make a change. Lucy Wishmeyer's in and an IMT insurance substitution.
Got to get a quick score, whether it's a 3 or a 2 right here.
Yeah, you need something. King up the floor. All the way inside. The pass to the baseline, and it's hit. Nice shot by Lukin. And Coach Spiegler needs a timeout with a score. Mount Vernon up by 3. And we will quickly step aside and come back. This is going to be a fun finish in the state semifinal. Back after this on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, those minutes that you put in, those hours you put in the gym, they all come down to this. State semifinal, Wallert's down 3. And if you're Wahlert, you need a takeaway, obviously, but then if you can't get the steal right away, got to find somebody to foul.
And you can't be choosy. You just have to foul somebody. No timeouts. That was the last timeout for Wahlert.
Mount Vernon's got 3, so if they run into a 5-second situation on the inbound, they don't have to worry about that. Inbound coming from Courtney Frank, and they will use a timeout. So there you go. The clock was winding down, and they've got 2 more left, so they've got a good bailout a couple of times in some of those sticky situations. Well, Wallert's done a nice job. We saw them get a takeaway earlier, and now they nearly force a 5-second call. It's going to take a lot of energy, but they gotta keep that intensity up.
They do, and they did a good job of switching, not getting hung up on screens, and making sure they were communicating and they were talking so they could cover everybody up and not allow them to get that ball inbound.
So Mount Vernon, if we play a little hypothetical, if they give up, or Wahlert, if they give up a couple free throws here, are they in 3-point mode the rest of the way, you think, or can they still get a couple of 2s? I guess it depends on how the free throws go. But
yeah, but I think at that point, I think then maybe you're in three-point mode. I think you got to get points and as many points as you possibly can, unless you go hard to the hoop and you get that and one opportunity.
And Mount Vernon, I'm sure one of the messages in that timeout is if we do turn the ball over, do not foul. No chance of it. You cannot give them an opportunity. Here we go. Second try at this inbound. Courtney Frank, the future Wayne State Wildcat, will inbound for Mount Vernon. And we're ready to go. Set a couple down screens. They get it in to Pershing. Wallert's not fouling. Now there's a foul. Golden Eagles try to force a tie-up, which would have given them the ball. But now Pershing will go the other way to shoot two. This is who Mount Vernon wants on the line, an 84% shooter.
Wait, Tanny was in there on the backside. I thought she was very close to getting the jump ball call.
Yeah, they showed a replay up on the big screen, and well, the Wahlert fans certainly saw it their way, and I agreed with you, Laura, there. First one missed. An 84% free throw shooter, Quinn Pershing, misses the first. Costly. Best she can do is make it a 4-point game. Her shot around and down. And as you mentioned earlier, Laura, Wahlert out of timeouts, so it's on the players now at this point to make something happen.
Yeah, and score quickly here is the key. You got to hustle down the floor and get a shot up.
Here comes Tanny, chased from behind. Into the half court, got to look to score. Deep three. Doesn't go. Mount Vernon gets the rebound right in the backcourt. Trying to step out of the trap, and a timeout from Mount Vernon with 5 seconds left. And now it's going to be really challenging for the Golden Eagles to stage a comeback here. I think Mount Vernon's done just enough to come away with this one.
And they held them off. What a second half by Wahlert to be able to come back the way they did, tie it up, and make it a ball game.
Wahlert outscored Mount Vernon 20-8 in the third quarter to go from down 14 to actually tie the game late in the third quarter. That alone just shows the effort and their ability to stage a comeback.
Yeah, they made some adjustments at halftime, came out with kind of a different attitude and a different way of attacking, and the confidence level started to grow, and they were able to climb back in.
So Mount Vernon now down to one timeout left. They're going to have to inbound the basketball once again with 5 seconds left. And if you're Wahlert, you still got to keep your wits about you, even though things look bleak, and see if something can happen. It's worth noting that 4 points in one sequence is possible.
You know, a steal, a three-pointer, and a foul.
Yeah, not likely, but it's still.
But we've seen it happen.
We have. Yes, we have. We've seen very strange things in the state tournament. Let's see what we get here. Mount Vernon to inbound. Mustangs get it in, and Wright dribbles up the sideline. No foul. And Mount Vernon, the defending champs, keeps the title defense alive. They'll play for the state title tomorrow night.
What a great first half by Mount Vernon. They were able to get that separation, get that lead, and able to hold off this Wahlert team who came back with a vengeance in the second half.
Boy, you could say that again. The Golden Eagles were high-flying and charging there, down 14 to tie the ball game. You cannot fault the effort of this Wahlert Catholic girls basketball team, but they will finish short of the state title. How about that senior class leading them to 4 straight state tournaments, though? An outstanding accomplishment, one you cannot overlook. But the defending state champion, Mount Vernon Mustangs, will have a chance to defend their title tomorrow night against either Maquoketa or Des Moines Christian. Let's go down for the post-game presentation.
In addition to receiving medals, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Executive Director Aaron Gerlich and Basketball Administrator Tanya Moe. Congratulations to head coach Chris Spiegler and the Golden Eagles of Wahlert Catholic on an outstanding basketball season. And now with a quick star of the game, Savannah Wright. She's earned the right to advance her team on the bracket in the semifinal round to play in the championship game. Thanks to Quickstar for their support of the IGHSAU.
Well, what a performance by Savannah Wright as she advances the Mustangs back into the championship game for the second year in a row. She had 24 points, 4 rebounds, but we also can't forget about Taylor Frank for Mount Vernon. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, nearly put up a triple-double in the semis. Mount Vernon, they've got a good chance to repeat as a state champion after a very strong performance today.
Yeah, a strong performance, and they were tested. And so I think very much like what we saw in 5A, teams are tested, and it's going to kind of wake you up a little bit and say, hey, we've got to give our best all 4 quarters.
Special shout out to those Wahlert seniors leading the Golden Eagles to 4 state tournament appearances in a row. They finished at a 19-6 record in the semifinal round, at least for the second time in those 4 seasons. But it's Mount Vernon who advances to the state title to play either the Maquoketa Cardinals or the Des Moines Christian Lions. That'll be the next contest that you'll be able to watch here on the Girls Union Digital Network. Until then, we'll say so long. For all of our great crew here in Des Moines, for Laura Leonard, I'm Daniel Versteg. The Mustangs are moving on to the championship contest, defeating Wahlert 53-49. Thanks for watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy. 4 state tournament appearances in a row. They finished at a 19-6 record in the semifinal round, at least for the second time in those 4 seasons. But it's Mount Vernon who advances to the state title to play either the Maquoketa Cardinals or the Des Moines Christian Lions. That'll be the next contest that you'll be able to watch here on the Girls Union Digital Network. Until then, we'll say so long. For all of our great crew here in Des Moines, for Laura Leonard, I'm Daniel Versteg. The Mustangs are moving on to the championship contest, defeating Wahlert 53-49. Thanks for watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm